Hey, welcome for a very special episode. All the way from Australia, we have the Imam of Peace joining CNI, Imam Tawhidi. How's the weather treating you here?
Excellent, thank you.
Excellent. I don't believe you. It's Canada in February, but
Why would you?
Well, I'm coping.
you're coping. Okay, that's good to hear.
Okay. So a lot of people want to know how much the Islamic Republic of Iran pays you to.
Not enough. Not enough.
Okay, so first of all, tell us about your deal with the Islamic Republic, with your education.
What deal?
Your education in Qom seminary. Why do you have a certificate? I never seen a certificate of basically from a royal. What is that certificate
The Royal
on your
United
Twitter?
Services
Yeah,
Institute,
what is
yeah.
that certificate? What's the story with that certificate?
Well, the Grand Mufti of Australia,
Okay.
who nobody recognizes him anyway,
Oh, the Grand Mufti.
said that I am not recognized in a very sneaky way. Like, I'm Shia.
But isn't he Sunni?
Yeah, they don't recognize any Shia Imam. And then he turns around and says, well, he's not recognized. Duh. And then he, then the institute that I studied in, the Al-Mustafa University, which is a hub of terrorists now, and it was preaching Islamism, said, well, we don't recognize him. And I said, well, what an honor. And I would be very worried if these two
Yeah, if they
recognize
were like,
me.
yeah, he's our guy. You'd be like, nah.
Number one Imam. Very good. Death to all America, Israel. He's got them all alphabetically. He could name all the countries.
So
backwards.
then you called somebody, get the certificate. What happened? How did you get?
I
the
heard it was a
certificate?
prince. I heard.
I've never seen an imam with a certificate from royal.
I know. No, they invited me, the Royal United Services Institute for Security and Defense, Branch Australia, just to be clear, invited me. And I gave a speech in front of senators, members of parliament, and this is the world's oldest think tank. Like, it's very prominent.
Okay.
All of a sudden, they get emails that, hey, you invited a fake sheikh.
Oh.
So they said, okay, so what do we do? So I spoke to the vice president. I said, hey, how about you clear your name and also clear mine? Issue a statement, first conduct an investigation, and told the people what the investigation was about. And they did that. We got an actually legal accredited translator, and we contacted the Islamic seminaries of Qom, and they asked him. They asked them, the grand ayatollahs and their officers, is he an imam? They said yes. Did you ordain him? They said yes. And then a bunch of whole questions in the statement. And then the last one I remember was, well, then why is everybody against him? And they just didn't want to get involved in the politics. They said, we reject what they say. I said, thank you very much. But hey, someone just mentioned that, they pointed out a fact that I wasn't really aware of. I'm the only imam with the royal investigation.
That's what I'm saying.
You're the royal imam.
Like,
you're
if a royal member,
not a royal imam, but there is a royal institute that has conducted an investigation confirming my credentials.
if a member of royal family becomes a Muslim, you're the only person who can actually marry them.
We'll say that.
In my view.
Or the royally certified cleric. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
It's not from the Queen. It's just.
Let's pretend it is.
Let's pretend it is.
Well, she is the patron of the main institute in the UK. No, this is a branch in Australia, and they've conducted it. So,
okay.
That's more
So
royal
what is
certification
your
than we
problem?
have. So.
What is your problem with Canada and our way of gender neutralizing everything and being so diversity our strengths and stuff? Why do you hate us so much?
I don't hate you. I love Canada. I've lived in Canada. I come here frequently. I don't have a problem with anything in this country other than its government, current government.
Amen.
And I think they are taking Canada backwards with their, fairy tale policies that aren't realistic. And
So you believe that ISIS fighters who had sex slaves cannot be integrated into society with poetry classes?
Whoa. They're not
Is
poetry
that even a question?
No. Yes, you.
I might be
as
leading
an
the
imam,
witness here.
as a royal imam.
I'm not a royal
in
imam.
Islam. You're the most royal imam I
Come
know.
on, Your Highness.
Your Excellency. We're not actually writing poems to ISIS people yet. What our plan is, there's also a podcast division. We're writing poems in universities, studying those poems to see if they will de-radicalize ISIS.
That is actually part of the plan.
Is there any Quranic backing to fighting ISIS with poems?
Do you think
You guys, I don't know if it's you or the government influence, but
the government has
This
done
is the plan.
no,
This is the plan.
These are delusional questions, literally, and it's a delusional plan, whatever it is. You can't tackle bullets with the poetry. Even Shakespeare didn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they could be a very
Let's not be so
powerful
negative.
voice.
No,
Let's
not
not
going to
be
happen.
so
Let's
negative.
be
Okay.
realistic, yeah.
So we've heard that you've been doing a lot of humanitarian work, and there's this big scandal in Brooklyn that there is a missing person potentially. No one has seen Linda Sarsour's
very
husband.
concerned
Very
about Linda
concerned.
Sarsour's husband.
You're very concerned. As are we.
How's the investigation going?
Well, it's going good. We started on Twitter, and we might actually get some guys on
Any
foot.
leads?
Well, nothing yet. He might be under a burqa. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We ask our audience, please, if you have any reports, any news of the whereabouts or even existence. We really don't know anything.
Just
Of-
office at
Yeah,
tawhidi.com.
this person, called. this
Tweet the
gentleman.
Imam of Peace. You could tweet at Civil Space Network. We need to find this man because he is
Yeah.
missing. And as someone probably said once, no man left behind.
Yes, and no, let's not go there. Anyways, so now, what about Australia? How's Australia doing with this movement that has already taken over Canada, in a sense of giving in to Islamism and all these people as in the name of tolerance? How's Australia doing?
Look, Australia doesn't need to prove to anyone that it is a multicultural country and it's a successful multicultural country. The difference between Australia and Canada, and this is my personal opinion, the Australian nation is more aware of what's happening around the world. Now, you might be surprised that we're so far, but we're very aware.
Like nobody knows where you guys are, to be honest. Like
Well,
you're bad.
That's your loss, by the way.
I could find you on a map.
I'm sorry.
We're very aware of what's happening. So if there's a politician that says, for example, hey, let's bring in all of these refugees and we don't know their origins or what's happening, we don't just sit there and clap and say, yes, you'll find many, and the majority will turn around and say, hey, hang on, that's not how it works. That's not how the country operates. Where's the government? So we do have serious voices and we have very respected politicians in Australia. And because this is a free speech platform, Corey Bernardi is a wonderful politician.
Shout out.
Well, a very wonderful guy. And he knows his work, mature, smart, clever, loves his country. And he's someone I respect. And we do have other conservative voices, but the one I take very seriously is Senator Corey Bernardi. You should actually follow his work. He's one of the main leaders of the actual movement to protect Australia and its values at the moment.
Would you compare him to like Linda Frum here in Canada, in a way, in the centre?
Yes, both honourable and both know what the country needs. So yes, I would.
Okay.
Realist.
Although both of them are very unique in their ways. Yes.
But realists over.
A realist, yes,
Yeah.
and also an intellectual.
Yeah.
So
So let's look outside of the let's say the political class in Australia and Canada. Do you sense what is the level of what I call cultural masochism? Because I saw this like sort of this thing with Invasion Day in Australia and this sort of sense of our culture is bad. Do you see that taking off in Australia?
Self-hating
culture,
Westerners.
yeah.
in Australia, you have these Muslim TV celebrities that are groomed by the notorious left, hopefully politicians, TV hosts, and so on. And these people, they come, they talk about Australia being an invasion, you know, it was invaded, and that they go to the Aboriginals and say, hey, we're not like the white Australians, come to us, and, you know, converting them using this propaganda. Let me tell you something. Muslims on Australian TV who promote the idea that, you know, we came by plane tickets and your grandparents came by chains as convicts. You became Muslim because of the sword.
Technically true fact.
Who are you to talk about Australia and its history?
And it's also the irony of, like, are you demeaning the country that was built by those people who came in
And
chains?
plus,
and you flew to their country.
And plus, the Australian people today have nothing to do with what happened all those years.
Right.
If the British committed a crime on Australian soil,
Yeah.
why do we have to say sorry? Look, I'm very upset that that happened, and it's part of our history and we can never deny. But today the Aboriginal people are honorable people. They sit in parliament, they have positions, and they are part of the formation of our laws. And we've even apologized, politicians have apologized about the history. And I have many Aboriginal friends.
Yeah.
But let's be very realistic. If the British committed these atrocities, some captain or whatever, they are the ones who should be held responsible.
It's the
It's part
sins
of
of
their
the sins
history.
of the father are not the sins of the son.
It's part of their history. It's not Australia's problem, not the current generation at all. And we love the Aboriginals. It's not like, look, Muslims butchered Europeans, butchered the Romans, butchered everyone. Today we're friends.
Yeah.
Things move on. You know, people were bad back in the day. It doesn't mean that the current Australian population represents the very invaders that came in. Doesn't work like that.
But
Not in my
how
books.
else would they try to divide the country and
Exactly,
have their
yeah.
revolution then?
Yeah. That's the kicker.
They're
That
not going
was
to have their
rhetorical.
revolution.
That
No
was
one's going to have a revolution in Australia. No, not going to happen. But
So-
let's be very realistic. All of these claims are, you know, childish, very childish. Opposing Australia Day in Canada,
Yeah.
changing the anthem,
Yeah.
like gender neutral. What is this joke? Is your Quran gender neutral?
No, it's going to be now.
Well, no, it's my book as well, but I'm talking to people like
Yeah.
Omar al-Ghabra and these politicians. Is the Quran you read gender neutral? Muslim Brotherhood, is that gender neutral? Fix your name.
The Muslim peoplehood. The human, no, or the
Yeah,
human
your move.
Yeah, your
bros.
move, Muslim Brotherhood. Tweet at us,
Sexist
NCCM.
pigs.
Yeah.
Anyways, so has the wave of immigration to Australia, because you seem to be very passionate about Australia, and I just wanted to know if that has had any effect on the consumption of babies by dingoes.
That was the
I
best
don't
you
know,
got.
is that how things work in your country? I'm not sure, because where I'm from, that doesn't happen.
I apologize. You're very Australian. Like, you are really hardcore Australian.
In what sense?
You're very passionate about
Of
Australia.
course, it's everything I have.
You have the accent too. You also have the
Good
good.
for
You have the. It's like priests, rabbis, and imams all have the different tone. Now, like you have the imam tone with the Australian accent. It's
very unique.
very unique.
And
Yeah.
nobody can copy it, hopefully. You know,
No, I can't
people
do
have
it.
tried.
I try. I speak way too fast. I stand.
No, Australia has given me everything my home country took away from me. So how can I not love Australia?
I exactly feel the same way about
There
Canada.
you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
I
my
mean,
sentiment.
I had grandparents born here, but this is a
You
great
don't have
country.
to be part of every
Yes, I
conversation,
do.
dude.
Yes, I do.
Two immigrants
I
are talking.
immigrated from the north of Toronto to a little bit further south of Toronto, and
Okay, so I just want to ask you a few. I just want to throw in some names, and you tell us how you feel about them. Just first things that come to your mind. Linda Sarsour.
Oh, I love her so much.
God bless her. Justin Trudeau.
Oh, I love him as well.
Okay, Ali Khamenei.
God?
God bless you. Okay, this has been Civil Space. Thank you,
God bless.
Imam Tawhidi, and thank you for having fun with us a bit.
Thank you.
and thank
Thank
you
you to
Tag
Tag
TV.
TV for helping us, allowing us to do this. You see this $1 million set we have here?
It's
God
green
bless you,
screen, by
Tag
the way.
TV. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Inshallah.
We have to cut it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to be cut.